Howdy, folks. What's going on, everybody? Having some issues logging in on the gun channel side. I don't know what's going on with that.
Howdy.
It's not letting me get in there, so I've not actually been able to send out any links to anybody other than via email. So as soon as that problem's resolved, I will be linking everything up on the gun channel side. But I do not understand what is going on. I keep getting an error when I try to get in on over there. Page isn't working. Page isn't working. Uh, yeah, there's definitely something going on with the gun channel side. Hey, Gunpowder, how are you? Gunpowder, I would love to send you a link. The issue is I don't have your email address. So if you would shoot me an email, I will send you a link. I need to get people's like emails and phone numbers and stuff like that. You know, about the only person whose phone number I actually do have is Ghost and Night Strikes. I'm pretty sure Night Strike's probably in bed by this time. Poor guy, can't handle being up too late. Hey, Ghost. Ghost, would you like a link, buddy? I can email you. Let's see what we got here. One of these days, this is going to be a lot easier. So, what's going on, guys? Getting ready to go to bed, just saying hi. Well, thanks for dropping by, Ghost. You can get you some rest, brother. Hey, Gary. Well, we're getting a pretty full house in here already. 9 watching. I'll take it. Hey, Ghost, do me a favor before you take off to bed. See if you can log in onto the gun channel side because I'm having issues and I need to know if it's just me or if it's everybody. Hey, Lockjaw, how are you? Now, how many of y'all are coming over here from Match Jet? I think I've seen Gunpowder over there for a little while. I don't know if she was there at the end, but Gary, you're on everybody's chat, brother. Okay, thanks, Ghost. I was wondering about that. That's probably why G Webs left so abruptly. Somebody probably got a hold of him. So I didn't see Too Hottie out there. So how you doing, Too Hottie? How's life? Guys, like I said, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Forget it. We're gonna run this like I do the late night chats. I'm just gonna take the link and I'm gonna post it right here out in YouTube land like this. And if you want in, you can jump in. There's the link. Anybody that wants to jump on in here can. Stop in, say hi. I'd love to have you. We ain't got a whole lot going on tonight. In 2 weeks, I'm doing another conspiracy theory chat. So, Ghost, I'm sure you'd like to be in on that one if you're available. The last two was two of my better shows. So, we are going to do another one. Now, I've decided I'm going to do one of those every few months. You know, just something lighthearted, get everybody's mind off political crap. Delve into the realm of aluminum foil hats. And somebody just showed up. Hey, Gary, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing all right. How about you?
Not bad. This is the earliest I've been on all week. Well, in about a week, as a matter of fact. Yeah, well, is this where you tell us that Night Strike really is an alien? No, Night Strike isn't an alien.
He's an illegal alien.
The closest thing we have to aliens around gun channels would be Midnight Range and Travis P11. They're both Travi, so it's pretty much self-explanatory. Some might debate the fact that Clover's an alien, but he's not an alien. He's just, a tactical leprechaun. He might get offended that if you called him a green alien.
He's a foreigner.
Yeah. But Gizzard Gary is actually a gizzard. That's been confirmed.
Pretty much.
Yes, that's confirmed. So that is no longer a conspiracy. That is a fact. And I don't want to see nobody trying to fry his ass up. I'd get kind of upset about that. I got you back, Gary.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah, I got you back. Ain't nobody frying you up but us. You're welcome.
It'd be a little chewy.
Yeah, maybe. As old as you are, it's probably gonna be tough, more than chewy. So, Clover tackles in space tonight. 3/4 of the chat knew his wife had a flat. Well, I didn't know his wife had a chat, so I missed something somewhere along the line. So, Gary, what's going on with you? Anything new?
I had a nap tonight. Is that new?
No, but that's unusual.
Yeah, I fell asleep at the tail end of Matt's chat.
Nah, did you catch the end of the top 10?
Yeah, I did. That's about where I fell asleep.
Yeah. I can't complain. That was a pretty good. That was a pretty good top 5. I think we put a nail in that one. We got it locked down pretty good. All these people that go around with these top 5 and top 10 lists, before they do their list, they really need to just watch our videos. That this Monday night chat with Matt. You know, and say, okay, well, this is the definitive list. So
Right.
it would make their lives so much easier.
Where's all the other chat hounds at?
Well, I've sent out some links via email because gun channels is down, so I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So until that's up, I can't send anybody any links that way. And I don't have Gunpowder's email address, so I can't send her one. But like I asked her, if her tar.1 would send me a email, I would be more than happy to shoot down my.
Hell, I got her email address.
Do you?
Yeah.
How in the hell do you have it and I don't?
Because she likes me.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, that was a kind of a dick thing to say. Thank you, Gary.
I didn't say she didn't like you.
Oh.
I
Well,
inferred it, but I didn't say it.
well, exactly. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride, I guess. Which is fine because I'd look horrible in a dress, and I'm a bit hairy.
Hey, your cousin, on the other hand.
Well, no, he's going to be in a dress. He just don't know it yet. Gunpowder Beauty at Gmail. See there? See how easy that is?
I didn't send her that one. I sent to her other one.
Oh, she has a other one that I don't know about?
Mm-hmm.
People are always
For
keeping
her
a
real
secret.
friend.
Oh, yeah, well, that's. Damn, man. You know how to kick a guy when he's down. That just is not kosher. Um, I'm kind of hurt. And let's see, there's supposed to be an at right there. I'm pretty sure.
There she is.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna send her one anyway, just because I freaking can.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I've got Alan a email sent. I've got who else do I have an email? I've got several out, so we'll see who shows up and who don't.
Yes,
Oh,
there is several Allens.
yes, but there's only one Alan that matters.
There's a small army of them, just like Gunpowder's children.
Wait, what about my kids?
Well, basically, he thinks you have a platoon full.
Well, I mean, speaking of kids, there's Tardut Jr. right there.
Hey, how are you, Tardot Jr.?
I just doing great.
You're doing great. Well, welcome to my show, buddy. Is there anything you want to talk about tonight?
I just got muffin.
What did he say?
He says he's just got a muffin.
You got enough muffins for everybody?
Yeah,
Yeah. Are you
Okay.
gonna
Well,
share?
good.
yeah.
You're gonna share? That's so sweet.
Well, we need about 400 of them.
Are you gonna drive to their houses and give them to them?
Yeah.
You are.
When
Man,
you
that
find the cornfield, just turn left. I'm just down the dirt road.
Hey,
Never mind the smell.
look here.
is- What are you doing here?
That guy,
Who's that guy? His name is Alan.
Alan.
Yeah, Alan B. Pro.
What we doing? Alan. We doing here, Alan.
Can you let Mama have a chat by herself? Isn't it your bedtime?
Oh, no, see, we're enjoying this.
Yes, the audience wants to know what kind of muffin.
Yes.
Well, actually, it's confetti cupcakes
Yes.
minus the icing.
I can share, Mama.
You're gonna share?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just the most sweetest
He-
little boy.
See, there he is, a true gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mia
So-
gets one first, though, right? She's a girl.
That's a dog.
Wait, where's the dog? No, that's a chicken. That's a chicken.
Oh yeah, that's the chicken.
Yeah.
That's a tactical chicken.
Yep.
Actually, it's a hen.
It's a rooster.
It's a hen. Take our word for it. It's a hen.
Rooster.
It's a hen.
That was a chicken.
Yep,
Huh?
he's a chicken.
He's a talking chicken.
Is it talking chicken?
Yeah. Isn't that so cool?
He's a talking chicken that likes gizzards.
Yep.
Do you like gizzards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see there? Hey, I bet you Gary has something that you would really like. He has a cat. He has a great big cat.
Cat?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a big cat.
Got a big cat?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Here, let me help you out. There you go.
That's a big cat.
That
I
is
know.
a
We
big
should go tell
cat.
Daddy that we need a cat because somebody stole our cat and we are catless.
Someone stole our cat.
Yep. So now we gotta get a new one.
Now,
If
yeah.
if you got another cat, what color would you want it?
I want a black cat with blue eyes.
We're not asking you.
Well, I'm the one that picks it out since I'm the one that drives.
Well, I think you should let him pick it out and then you drive.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
And-
since I'm outnumbered, if you got a kitty, what color cat would you want?
Gray.
I want a white cat.
Oh, you want a white cat. Okay, so you want Mama to pretty much have allergy problems all the time.
Now, why would having a white cat give you allergy problems?
Because those big fluffy white cats, I don't know what it is about them, but I have always had problems with those cats. My eyes puff up and get watery, and I look like I've just,
You
been
you
rolling around in insulation for a few hours.
well, you do realize you can get a short-haired white cat, right? They do exist.
Well, what's even better than that is those hairless cats. You can
There you
get
Those
a
go.
are
hairless cat.
ugly. Those are freaking ugly.
Yeah, but they're so cool.
Yeah, if I didn't have any hair, I'd be pretty cool too.
Excuse me, let you talk. Okay, bossy.
I was my papa in bed, and yeah, I have the shower,
Yep, you had a shower. Everybody else is asleep except for you.
and I got robot to it.
Yep, you got robot jammies.
What kind of robots?
Share.
Yep, hold on. Can you show them your robot pajamas?
Yeah, look at that.
Weed.
No,
Those are some pretty cool robot pajamas.
Can I have those when you're done, Will?
I can share.
Oh
You're
no,
gonna
I don't
share
want to
'em?
share them. I don't want to
Yeah.
share them. You think they'll fit me?
Say, of
Them-
course.
They might be a little small.
Or
I think they might be a little small.
You're just a circular avatar.
Well, this is true. This is true. So how old are you?
in grade.
No, not how are you. How old are you?
I just the valley.
Not what is your name? Oh my gosh. I think it's your bedtime. How old are you?
How old are you gonna be when you start growing your beard?
My beard is one, and it blew away.
Your beard blew away.
How many years old are you? How many years?
Papa have beards.
Yep. Hey, how old are you? Can you tell them how old you are?
On me is I was watching TV.
We're getting in some different conversations, buddy. How old are you? Like, what is your age?
My age is one the same robot dance.
I don't know if you're
Whoa.
understanding English, buddy.
What was that?
I'm pretty sure I'm talking English. How old are you?
That sounds like another chicken.
It sounded like another chicken. Oh my
Whoa, that's one big chicken.
That's one big chicken.
Yep, that's a huge chicken.
Are you going to tell them how old you are?
My huge. I brown. Over there.
When's
Yeah,
your
you have
birthday?
brown.
When is your birthday?
My birthday. A big birthday cake. My red birthday cake.
Well, how
My
many
birthday
candles?
happens every year.
Yeah,
Ellen's at lots of birthdays.
I just have no strawberry on my cake.
You have no strawberries on your cake.
Well, there
What
ain't
about
nothing.
bananas?
Sweet.
Bacon.
No. Right. Dude, that's 4 fingers. You know how to count. Go 1,
1,
2,
2,
3.
3.
Yeah, we're gonna have to still practice with that pinky. That pinky keeps wanting to fly out. How old will you be this year? Since you're already 3,
I'm already
how old will you be in August?
I'm already
In August,
Yep.
you'll be 4.
Yeah. So you go pinky up.
There you go. Hey. So what do you want mommy and daddy to buy you for your birthday?
My birthday
Yep.
is
What do you want
my
for your
birthday
birthday?
cake. A
A birthday
big
cake?
birthday cake.
That's all you want mommy and daddy to buy you is a big birthday cake?
He said it
It has
live.
strawberry on it. And
With the strawberry on it? Man, I could do that if that's the only thing you want for your birthday. I will buy you a big birthday cake with strawberries on it.
Now, what you need to do is look at your mommy and daddy and say, listen, one of these days I'm going to be an adult.
my big birthday cake have big candles.
Yep, they'll have
Big
big.
candles, okay. And
Yep.
tell
Yeah.
mommy and daddy to buy you a SIG 226 and give it to you when you're 21.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess. And
yeah,
Mama
yes,
have my gun.
yeah.
Now
There
Yeah,
you go.
good
at
kid.
our camera.
Tattletale.
He wants a gun and a camera.
Camera.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have a future Gun Channels alumni member right there.
Yep,
He's
That
going to be
was
in.
content
a
creator in the
ball.
making.
Yes,
That was a
sir.
ball. It's not very nice.
What's not
It's
very
not
nice?
very nice.
Who?
That guy ball is not very nice.
Oh, the guy with the ball. He kicked his ball out of our yard today, and a guy picked it up, and he wasn't very nice. He didn't want
Look
to
at
give it
that
back to me.
face.
I'm
That's
serious.
that's
Yeah.
a face of a very disgruntled individual right there.
Just
That's
Take
me
it.
trying to read French.
stepping from us.
Yeah,
Now he's
Wait,
taking our ball.
Alan,
yeah.
you can read?
And Mama had to threaten him with the pop stick.
I could, but I don't really like to.
Oh, okay.
Well, if he wouldn't give our ball back, I had to threaten him with the pop stick.
He can't get our ball back.
Oh, I got our
He's-
ball back. I did. Remember?
Did you
I
have
told
to
him
punch
if
him
he
in the
didn't give
throat?
it back to you, I was going to throat punch him.
Don't punch him. He's our friend.
He's not our friend if he was going to take our ball.
He
Friends
can-
don't steal friends' toys.
Bob's and share.
Yeah, I know. We could share, but that guy wasn't being very nice today. So
He is
Mama
nice.
threatened him.
Don't hurt him.
Don't
You know-
fuss at him. Okay. I'll try better tomorrow.
See, he's also going to be a diplomat. I think you got a politician on your hands.
You
You.
can tell Bob and tell him.
What?
I'm telling Mama tell him.
The
Bob.
guy's name is Bob, and he was kind of a jerk today and didn't want to give the ball back. And I told him, he better give my son's ball back or I was going to get my pop stick. And he laughed at me. So I told him if he didn't give it back, I was going to throat punch him. And he said
Don't
he'd call the
punch
cops
me.
on me. And I was like, that's okay. When I get done whooping your butt, you're going to be glad the cops show up. So he threw the ball back at my son and almost knocked him over. And I told him he needs to get to his own house and get off of my street before, I have to show him what a real butt
Hey,
whooping's like.
someone knocked our house over.
Nobody knocked our house over. We still got a roof.
That Bob knocking our house over.
Bob is not going to knock our house over. Mama may
Oh.
knock Bob over.
Whoa. That
He
was
huffed
big
and he
ball.
puffed until Mama made him run away.
Yep. Mama did make him run away. Take my kid's ball. I'm going to whoop him.
So,
He's our friend.
He ain't my friend.
He's Riley's friend.
He ain't Riley's friend. He's too old to be Riley's friend.
exactly how old was this guy?
He was in his 60s.
In his
And he's in
60s?
one of those houses that you purposely skip at Halloween time.
And I just said I was
Oh, so
And
he's
that
like a
was not very nice.
he's a
And
future
it's
version of
not
Alan B.
very
Pro. Okay, guys.
nice anymore. Now he took Clifton's ball.
Hey,
Hey, my house is currently where
Chatterbox.
kids skip. It's probably a
Hey.
good thing.
Chatterbox, get up to the counter and eat your muffin so we can brush your teeth so you can go to bed. It's past your night time.
I can share.
We'll totally share in a little while after you brush your teeth. Okay? A pinky promise.
I think I'm enjoying this a
Pinky
little too
promise.
much, guys.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, can you get up to the counter and go eat your muffin so we can brush your teeth?
I
I
want
pinky
a
promise.
muffin.
I'll make sure people get muffins.
I want butter on mine.
Yeah, I
You
want
want
mine.
cornbread muffins?
No, I want blueberry.
Oh, you want blueberry?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I hope y'all ain't expecting homemade because I don't homemade nothing.
Were they Jiffy?
Well, I mean, if it's cornbread, I homemade that, but most of the stuff is in a box. But if you like Jiffy, I'll make Jiffy.
We can do a Jiffy. Jiffy's good.
Let's say I had them for years.
I ain't had no Jiffy in a while.
They still sell them.
Yep. Hey, the Daily Gun Show just went live.
Hey,
No gun channels, but we got a daily gun show.
Yep.
hey, no, up to the counter and eat
That's
your muffin.
that's interesting.
I know it's your
What's
tiger.
going on over in the chat? I haven't even paid attention, guys. I'm sorry. I've been enjoying this.
It's mostly Mia over there.
Yeah, well, Mia, you know, Mia, I can send you a link.
Yeah, she needs to get in here.
I agree. I bet Gunpowder's all lonely by herself, being the only woman in here with us jackasses.
Hey, I resemble that statement.
That's why I said it. Let's see. There we go. And when her husband gets in, gets on, I've already sent him a link. Can't believe I actually admitted that out loud, that I actually sent Midnight a link, but I did. Can you believe that?
You invited a Travi?
I did. You know, somebody's got to keep an eye on them. Somebody has got to.
Send her a link. Send her a link.
I sent her a link. It's on its way. I emailed it.
Hurry.
Yeah, she's out there with good company. Dano's out there with her.
Save us all.
Music
Georgia
Lover just
Rebels.
jumped in.
Heck yeah.
You know, Georgia Rebels out there. Music Lover. Mia's in good company out there.
Yeah, but she'd be better company if she was in here, for us at least.
Well, yeah, I can't really say that because I used to have Dano on this show all the time. I kind of like having Dano around. He leveled things out for us.
There's a question for you there, Outlaw.
Where's the question? What's the question? Is there a topic? Yeah, there's always a topic, and it's normally how not to have topics. See, the idea of this show was originally just to do one-on-one interviews. The problem with that is to get one-on-one interviews, you actually have to have people who are willing to be interviewed. And I can very rarely find people who are willing to do interviews. So on the rare occasion that I come up with somebody who actually does, I do a one-on-one.
Muffin.
Did anybody here ever get asked to do an interview?
No, I didn't.
Neither did I. Not individually, at least.
Okay, guys. We're going to solve this issue right now. Next week, hold on. One of you wonderful individuals in this chat will have an interview next week. Now, I'm going to go by longevity first. So, The person in this room right now that has been coming the most and the longest has been Gary. So, Gary, would you do me the honor of an interview next week,
What day?
Monday?
Can't do Monday unless it's really late. So I
Oh,
work.
it'll be late. It'll be about the same time this one started.
Oh, I can do that.
No, no. Monday nights at 11 is when the show was slated to start. Unfortunately, Matt's never done, you know, around that time. So it goes a little late. So I started a little late.
Riley.
Let's see. The week after that, we are doing the conspiracy chat. So the week after that, Alan, how would you like to do a one-on-one interview with me?
Well, you prefaced all of this with the words "wonderful individuals." I don't think I qualify.
Okay. 3 weeks from now, I would like to have an asshole on my show. Alan, would you like to?
I would probably qualify for that. Unfortunately, I can't set a time or a day at the moment because I don't get my schedule that far in advance.
Well, we will work on it. Okay, we will work on it. We will work toward a goal.
Right. And to you, it's not a hole; it's the hole.
The asshole, right?
Right, the hole,
The
the
whole.
whole ass. I'm not just the hole. I'm the
Mhm.
whole ass.
Yes. Well,
Wait,
there
wait,
you go. There
wait.
you go, ladies
Get
and
the
gentlemen.
grown-up chat really quick there.
Yeah. There you go. I have now got a one-on-one interview set up for next week, and one set up 2 weeks from now. Gunpowder Beauty.
Yes, sir.
4 weeks from now, what are you doing on a Monday night about 11 o'clock?
Well, since it's 4 weeks out, I will make a plan to be available.
Thank you, ma'am. And now, for the next 4 weeks, I've got my show covered. So, music lover, thank you. See,
Yeah, my people will get a hold of your people, and we'll see if the coordination can
oh my
happen
God,
in the time frame allotted.
no. See, you don't want your people to get a hold of my people because my people are fucking idiots. You've met Night Strike. You've met Night Strike, for Christ's sake. Trust me, you don't want to deal with my people.
Hang, buddy. I need you to go get in bed.
Lord.
Everyone's favorite pistol in the music lover ass, and I need more parameters on this here, music lover.
Yes.
Is this my favorite pistol that I own? Is this the favorite pistol that I wished I owned? Is this the favorite pistol that my brothers, uncles, cousins, sisters, nephews stole from me? I need more parameters here.
Is it a revolver that you're talking about, or is it a semi-automatic? Is it modern, or is it a classic? Is it double action only, or double single action, or is it striker fire? See, there's so much we can go with here.
Has
Okay,
a
so-
Hatfield ever touched it?
This Hatfield has touched out a lot of guns.
I like a lot of.
Yes.
I like all my pistols, man.
I guess
Oh.
starting at the top, mine would be
Oh, God.
1911 and 45 action. One that I don't own is the Black Hawk and the Super Red Hawk, which I both really want. Really like the Colt 357 revolver. Would like to have a Kunin.
Mama.
See what else is there. Kind of like my Burst of Thunder 380 just for the fact that it's the first gun I ever had.
Okay.
Rifle is my Sears 3030. Yeah. My list could keep on going.
Yeah, well, so could mine. But he's asking handguns that we currently own. My favorite handgun that I currently own would probably be the GP100. I just got it. I fired it. I love it, son bitch. After that, it would be the 1911. My SR 1911.
Well, no qualifiers except what you like to shoot. So I mean, I might have to lean towards the Smith & Wesson 454 Casull.
That's a good choice.
Hey, Outlaw Sparta wants your email address.
Well, I tell you what, I will type it out in the chat so everyone will have it. Forgive me, I am not a fast typer. I'm one of these two-finger pecker guys. Get your minds out of the gutter.
And all it is
Gary.
2 fingers? Damn.
Yeah, it's kind of like a birthday cake.
This is the new email address. So that's I had to come up with that because my other one was getting overrun with just YouTube stuff. So
Well, we could sign that one up for a bunch of spam. Let's see.
hey, please, please.
It's actually already listed on 7 porn sites, and that will quadruple by the hour.
That and GlockUSA.com.
Thank you, guys. You're such wonderful.
I thought I knew that
individuals
from somewhere. Now I know.
Now, you guys who are interested in becoming a Patreon, speaking of that, I will be giving away the goat gun probably tomorrow at 6 o'clock. That's when I'll be giving the goat gun away. You still have time to get in on this month's giveaway. I'm giving a friend a gift, and to do that, all you have to do is go over to my Patreon account, look up the Outlaw Hatfield. It's easy enough. And donate $1 to $5 for every dollar you enter. You get an entry. So, and this month I am giving away a sniper rifle, and it is beautiful.
I was misunderstanding then. I thought that you already did the drawing for that goat gun.
Oh no. That was I was screwing around with RL. I wanted to get his hopes up and shoot him down. It was April Fool's Day, remember? It was April Fool's Day, so I told him that he won, but no, he didn't actually win. I haven't done the drawing yet.
Music Lover says that his pistols currently are the PO9, which I do have that one on my list. PPQ, the M&P 2.0 so far. I only have a few selected weapons that I show and even really admit to owning here on YouTube. And I have reasons for that, but I'm not going to go into those reasons. But the ones that I show here on YouTube, I've got a Ruger 9E, a SIG P320C in the FDE, the Ruger LC9S Pro, actually I haven't showed that one. I don't think I'll list that one. Those are the 3 main pistols that I've shown so far on YouTube.
Yes, but this is the goat gun I'll be giving away this week. So, limited edition, 1,000 of them made. And apparently I have found out that since I've started giving these things away, there's been several other channels that's doing the same thing. I was the first, guys. Where's my love? Nobody gives me props for this sort of stuff. I'm highly disappointed.
I don't go on them other guys' chat, so.
Yeah, I know. Maybe you'll get lucky and win this one this time, Gary.
It looked nice in my house.
I'm telling you.
And I would give you props. I'd record a video and tell everybody how wonderful a person you are.
Well, you do that
Why
anyway.
would you want to lie on video?
Alan.
For free stuff.
You could be in on this contest if you would just become a Patreon.
Yeah. I do not currently support anybody on Patreon. Tell you honestly, I don't support anybody, and nobody supports me on Patreon, even though I never even actually say that I even have a Patreon. Other than that, if you do go to Patreon and you look up Alan B Pro, there is a Patreon there. And if you subscribe, what you will get for your subscription is absolutely nothing.
Not even a thank you, man. That's harsh. That's harsh.
Yeah, I will completely ignore it. I'll go ahead and take your money, but I will completely ignore the fact that you've signed up for Patreon for me. It is what it is. I'm just being honest.
And
Honesty is the best policy.
this is why we love you, Alan. This is why we
You
love
what you get.
you. You're blunt, you're honest, you're straightforward. God bless you, brother. When you decide to run for president, let me know. I will be your running mate.
But you know what you ought to do? See, a lot of these people, they give their patrons wrenches for their chats, and you could give people Allen wrenches.
That is an absolutely ingenious idea. I had not even thought about that. Typically, well, first let me preface this with the one of the main reasons why I don't support anybody on Patreon is because if I supported everybody that I want to support out here, even at $1 a piece,
You'd be broke.
I would not be able to afford the ammunition that I go through in one range trip. And I do at least 6, 8, 10 range trips a week. So I need every penny I can get. 2 is somebody that we all know that shall be named unnamed. I supported heavily on Patreon at one point. Heavily. And not only did they ever put me into their tier groups, but they never even shouted anything out. When I was trying to do some fundraisers for other YouTubers and so forth, they would not even do that, even after I was donating to their live streams and putting those donations in their live streams. So I got pretty burnt by this one particular individual, and just kind of left a real sour taste in my mouth.
That'll do it every single time. You know, I go out of my way. It's like these live chats, and I don't know how many of y'all have actually noticed that I do this, but if I'm doing a live chat and I see that somebody new has subscribed, I will call them out right there on the spot. Hey, look, so and so, thank you for subscribing, and I do it in recognition for them liking what I put out there enough to take their time to like it, subscribe to it. I appreciate that, guys. I really, truly do. And like I've said 1,000 times, without you guys that's out there in the audience listening to this, none of us would be doing what we're doing. It's you that puts us where we are.
Exactly.
And if we ever grow too big to understand that, then we don't need to be doing this anymore. You know, you gotta all it's one thing that I learned as a very young kid. You always remember where you came from, because someday you might end up back there. So, right now I'm just about at the 200 subscriber mark. And there's just something about these shows that some people like. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But hey, if you're willing to sit here and listen to it, I'm willing to do the shows. You know, and I've said it before. If you guys, know somebody that you'd like to see on the show, if you come up with somebody that you would like me to interview, shoot me an email, or tell them to get a hold of me. I'm willing to interview anybody, period. It don't matter to me. And it don't matter what their content is. It don't have to be firearm related. I will interview literally anybody that's willing to get on here and understand the ground rules. The ground rules are simple. I don't write nothing down. I do this all free base. The questions come to me. I ask the questions. It's like two guys sitting in front of a campfire having a chit chat. No stress. I try to stay. I don't try to get into the politics too much. I might, you know, go hit the edges a little bit if necessary. Other than that, I try to stay away from politics because that's just a powder keg that I'm not willing to light on my shows because I'm not willing to deal with the arguing. Now, with that being said, I have talked to some anti-gunners and I have tried to get them on the show, and they flat out refused. I was going back and forth with two anti-gunners a couple weeks back, and I told them, I said, you know what, you want to debate this, fine. I got a forum we can debate this on. I will put you on my show. I will put you on a panel, and we will debate this. We will find out exactly where you stand on the Second Amendment and why you think we're wrong for wanting to defend the Second Amendment. And
we did have the crazy Scotsman jump into the side chat out there, and I just like to say they're crazy. Go eat a bowl of dicks. So anyway, yeah, the Patreon thing, Music Lover also says in the side chat, sometimes it comes off as e-begging. And I don't make content or tailor it, I should say. I do not tailor content for my audience. And a lot of people do that. That's great. That's fine. I do it because I'm really digging doing this, and I really dig the community that we have out there. It for everybody that watches my stuff, the streams that I go into. I dig the community, except for everybody except for the crazy Scotsman. He can go eat a bowl of dicks. But I absolutely dig the community. It's that to me is one of the largest aspects. Now, if you're doing something that you love, there's, to me, yeah, it costs a little money to make videos or whatever. I started out with the camera on my laptop and my cell phone. Did it cost me anything at all? Nothing at all. Have I spent money to acquire other equipment? Well, yeah, I have, but I didn't have to. Have I spent money on things just for the channel? No, I absolutely have not. This items that I'll get and review on my channel are items that I'm buying anyway. They're items that are coming out of my pocket for me. I understand there's people that are at a completely different level than that, and they need something to they're doing a completely different thing than I am. I get that. And it's nice to have support from the community, but it can also really come off as e-begging.
Scotsman, I sent you a link through email if you want to jump in here. We'd love to have you. And I don't give a damn what Alan B. Pro says. I kind of like having you around, brother.
Yeah, I like the Scotsman. Don't get me wrong. I like the Scotsman a lot. He's an absolutely phenomenal freaking dude. I'm just talking smack because, well, he's not in the room, and if he was in the room, then we could talk smack together. But
And
If he comes on though, he's gotta talk in the accent because it's super awesome.
I'm not. We didn't need to hear that. God, Lord, what is it with women and accents?
well,
Do not judge me, sir. Do not judge
I
me.
was not judging.
Oh,
I was
no,
not
you
judging.
didn't.
I remember when I was, younger in my 20s, I would date these girls and we'd be watching a movie or something and there'd be a Sean Connery movie and the dude's 60 years old then, and they'd be like, "Oh, he is so fine." He's old enough to be your great grandfather. It don't matter, I'd still do him. Why? It just never made sense. And they would all give the same. It's the accent. What the hell about that? What's that about an accent? Come on.
Listen,
That doesn't make
I would still have his babies. Okay, I would still have his babies.
I just don't get it.
But I'm married, so I can't have his babies. But
well, it is Sean
it's
Connery.
still there.
You might be able to get the clearance from Tardot to make that happen.
That's true. That is true.
I mean, I think it has a lot to do with not only the accent, but the voice and the terms that guys use. If you come off with the confidence and debonair, that is very alluring to females.
That is a very big word for somebody like you, by the way. I'm impressed.
Well, what can I say? I'm a womanizer.
That's what that is. Okay, gotcha.
See, that's why we love you, because your name ain't Willy Wonka. It ain't your job to sugarcoat shit.
No, I'm gonna be straight up. I'm gonna be honest about it.
That's why we like
to the
you.
best of my knowledge, at least.
Well, see, this is why I still want to do that chat with you, me, the Crazy Scotsman, Joey, maybe a couple others. Could all of us doing a late night chat together? Could you imagine how fun that would be? I don't think it would be suitable for work or for small children, or maybe old folks, because it's liable to give them a heart attack. But
yeah, I think that would be a very phenomenal epic mix. I think that show would be one that go down in the history books.
yeah, I'm going to make that happen. I already talked to Joey. He says he's in. I just need to come up with a time frame when we're all available to do it at the same time. So
I will definitely be watching that show because it's gonna be legendary.
It's going to be good. And like I said, I've talked to I've talked to everybody except Scotsman at this point. And Scotsman, now that you're out there in the audience, are you up for that? And by the way,
he actually responded before you finished answering the question.
Oh, just let me know. I'll text Joey. Joey's already known. I talked to Joey about it a week ago. So Joey's in. So I just, find a couple others, one or two, and we're gonna make this happen. We're gonna have ourselves one hell of a shindig.
In response to Music Lover, Alan and I are not from the southern states.
Nope, that'd be me and Gunpowder Beauty.
I'm from the dead center of the country, here in Kansas.
I'm a Texas girl.
And I am currently sitting in South Kakalaki. That's South Carolina for the rest of you folks.
South Carolina by way of West Virginia.
Yep. I have lived in. Let me get my thoughts together here. I have lived in New York. Hated it. Lived in West Virginia.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so am I. I was there for over a year. I was miserable. I've lived in West Virginia. I've lived in Kentucky. I've lived in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Virginia, Tennessee, Oklahoma. Spent a little time in Alabama and a few weeks in Florida.
Where'd you live in Oklahoma?
Oh God, a little town called Colgate.
Okay, I never heard of it.
Oklahoma.
Yep. There's only two other states I intend to be living in if I ever leave here. One of them would be Louisiana, and the other would be Texas.
Texas for the win.
And why is that?
Well,
Texas is awesome.
Kansas got better gun laws. Just saying.
yeah, but see, in Louisiana, they've got this wonderful fishing thing going on. Catfish galore, and I'm a huge catfish guy. I love to catch catfish.
We got
That's
fish.
and I've always wanted to fish the Mississippi River. And hey, there you go. You're not going to get too much closer to the Mississippi River than you are in Louisiana. Not
Do
to
that in
mention,
Missouri, for God's sake.
now hold on, I'm not finished. You also have these wonderful things in Louisiana called swamps, and I have come to love swamps. I don't know why, I just do. It's
Other than the skeeters, they're pretty awesome.
yeah. I think I like swamps almost as much as I like mountains.
See, I think that's a Texas state bird's a mosquito, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Mhm.
I mean, they're big enough they could haul off my chihuahua.
No, here in South Carolina, they're big enough to haul off small children. So
That's kind of how they were in North Carolina when I went to go move my godparents back to Texas. I was like, Lord of mercy, these things are huge. And they're like, yeah, that's a mosquito.
they start coming out sometime in mid-February, and they don't stop until sometime mid-December.
Yeah, I was there for a week, I
pretty
swear.
bad when they carry around Negan bats,
Pretty much. Need a Negan bat just to sit there and swat them damn things.
No,
I thought I was going to need a blood transfusion
hold
before
on,
I
hold on.
left.
This is what you use to kill a South Carolina mosquito. This is how you kill a South Carolina mosquito. This is the only way
See,
you can do it correctly.
that's how I'd be killing the spiders where Vandalistica Vlog lives, because them spiders are huge, and I'm going to need one of them guns to put them things down. Otherwise, I'm just going to torch the whole freaking house.
Yeah. Well, you can't be burning your house down just to kill a spider.
Says who?
I'm sure the state probably frowns on that a little. I'm game, the Outlaw Hatfield. Just let me know and I'll text Joey. That's Scotsman, brother. We are going to have a ball with this one. Who's bringing the alcohol?
Yeah, the crazy Scotsman, Joey, myself, with you doing the interviewing. That I think is just going to be absolutely epic. You may have to make it restricted right off the bat, but that would be an epic.
Okay, but I want you guys to do me a favor. I want an audience for that one. I really want an audience for that one. So I want you guys to all make videos, telling everybody this is coming up. This chat's coming up. We are going to do this. We're going to do it live. Give them the date and everything, and let's make an event out of it.
Yeah, I know I would have no problem doing that. I can't speak for any of the other guys, but I suspect they wouldn't have any problem doing that at all. I've done a few commercial style videos before, and so I'm pretty sure I could whip some things out.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, when I do it, I'm gonna have the court gun little rifle that my son has, and I'm gonna make it like one of those things that people look at it and they're like, "What the hell?" All right, I'm gonna have to go check this thing out. That way, I have no problem being goofy.
We are going to have a blast on this particular show, I do believe. Pimping out the gay. I only pimp out the gay on certain occasions. right now I'm just pimping out the Allen. If I start pimping out the gay, it's going to get deep. And you can't bring out the gay too often. You have to.
Speaking
It's
of
got to be in small
speaking of
doses.
pimping out, there was this Indian chief who decided that there wasn't enough money in being a chief of a bunch of Indians, and decided he needed to make money somehow, so he became a chief um, of pimping. Decided to become a pimp. Do you know what his street name was?
She pimps a lot.
That would be Chief Slapaho.
Code.
That was
What
wrong,
question?
dude.
A code.
Mia,
That's
Mia.
funny as hell, and you know it.
Hey Mia, I sent you an
Robot
email with the link.
code.
I sent it
Robot
15 minutes ago. If you
code.
check your email, I'm sure it's there. Scotsman, like I said, you've got a link out in your email. So if either one of you two wants to jump in here, you're more than welcome.
I saw the Scotsman said he's got to get up in the AM.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. But we are going to do this because I think a spot is still out there, and I like having him on. He's a cool dude. So I am going to paste the link out in the YouTube side one more time. So if anybody wants to jump in here, you are more than welcome. Because I'm not sure how long we're going to be running tonight. I might go for 4 hours. It's been known to happen.
It has been known to happen.
It's
a good night. It's a good night.
Yeah, well, there's a full moon, so there ain't no telling what we might get into tonight.
Well, I too have to work early in the morning, but I couldn't resist coming out here and being on the Outlaw Show.
They have you working in the morning.
Yeah, I actually have no set schedule. And so this week I'm doing some morning shifts, and then next week I'm doing night shifts, and then who knows, and plus I'm on call 24/7. So
what exactly do you do,
Alan? Customer service management.
For what company?
I've been in management in one way, shape, or form or another for well over 25 years. Mostly in personnel management, doing numerous different things.
So you're the guy that kicks back, relaxes, and when the guy comes in shaking, you look him right in the eye and say, "You're fired."
Well,
Yeah.
the second part of that would actually be true. But the first part of that in no way, shape, or form. I'm the guy that is out there on the floor, not only showing them how to do the job, but I'm the guy that's out there on the floor doing twice as much as anybody else, demonstrating that it can be done on a daily basis.
Yeah. I remember when I was
And that's just currently. Just currently, I'm in retail customer service. I've done numerous things though.
I at one point in time in my wonderful security career, I have been a post commander, which is basically a manager when it comes to the security business. I have been second in command of a few other posts. Um, and for those of you people who are out thinking about getting into security, let me give you 2 words of warning. Warning 1, if you get into it, make sure you get an armed guard's position. If you're not making money. It's that simple. And they're liable to put you in very shady areas where you're the only person around that's wearing any kind of official looking uniform and a badge. And people will call on you to do shit like, break up fights outside of the place where you're working, and that is not your job. So, the only advice you can give people is call 911. And two, make sure you're working for a very reputable company. There are some out there that's a bit shady, so um, especially some of the little mom and pop places, they try to get away with shit. So if you're planning on getting into the security business, do your research. You know, it's best to know what you're getting into before you actually get into it.
Now, I've done a number of different things throughout my working career. One of them was security, and I was actually part of this special what we called QR team, and the QR was the quick response team, and I worked for Disneyland. If you don't already know, it is very, very true that there are tunnels all over underneath Disneyland in Southern California. And our team would respond to any type of instance anywhere amongst the park at any given time. So we were trained to do numerous different things. And before mass shootings became a major forefront thing in the media, that was something that was prepared for on Disneyland property many years ago.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you some of the bigger companies out there were prepared for that sort of emergency. It's amazing to me that it took so long for everybody else to catch up to it. You know, it's weird, but you know. Um, now were you actually armed?
Yes, yeah. Our particular team was one of only 3 teams that was armed.
So you had some damn good training behind you too. Yeah, that's
Well, I would put it as decent training. Yeah.
yeah. Um, you know, I have I have been meddling with the idea of starting a security training facility just for security guards. You know, if you want to get into the security business, you know, hire out to certain of the bigger companies out there and say, look, let us do the training for you, then you hire from us. They pay us to do the security training, and then you guys can pick and choose which people you want from us. Now, you got to understand, first of all, that most security training, and I've taken security training in New York, which is some of the most strict security training in the United States. Most security training that you get when you go into these companies and they say they're going to quote train you, they set you down in front of a TV monitor, they put a disc in or a videotape, and you watch that videotape, and that is your training. And they give you a piece of paper with a little test on it that you have to fill out at the end. Depending on the company that you are working for, that and which state you're in, that training could be from 8 hours to 72 to 80 some hours in a week. Um, but it's um, but it's not hands on, and that's my issue with security training. I can set you down in front of a video, and you can watch that video 15 times. But until you actually pick up a fire extinguisher in your hands and put out a fire with it, you don't know what the hell you're doing. I believe that security training needs to be hands on, and this is why.
Yeah.
As a police officer, you respond to crime after the fact. As a security guard, you're there when the crime happens. You are the first line of defense. Whether it's a fire that you need to put out, somebody you need to detain, some kind of medical situation comes up, you're the first one there. You're supposed to be able to deal with these situations. And the only training you've had is watching a videotape. That never flew with me. Uh, I think that security training is lax at best, and this is why there is such a gap, and why police officers in general look down on security guards, or most people look down on security guards as rent-a-cops. They don't get the same respect. Why? Because they don't get the same training.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some validity to having some set course structure on video, but there's nothing that compensates for live training. There's nothing that will ever compensate for live medical training. And that was a big factor in the little security gig that I did. That the medical factor was huge. Because I was in the quick response unit, we were typically the ones that would respond to any kind of medical issues. And so we would be revamped, believe it or not, every 3 months on CPR and how to use defibrillator boxes.
Yep.
And it was like there was a constant amount of training.
And this is the thing about medical training, it changes quickly. I have had a first aid license for many, many years, but it's not something that we use on a daily basis, so it's easy to forget. And believe me, I can't remember half of what I've learned over the years. So every time it's like a refresher course. I'm also a licensed CNA, certified nursing assistant. And because I haven't used this stuff on a constant basis, you forget, So you need those refresher courses. You need to go back every couple of months and say, hey, look, it's time for you to re-up and, figure out what you need to work on, test yourself out, make sure you've still got the knowledge that you need, find out what's been updated. I remember when chest compressions was seven press, 2 breaths. Remember that? Well, it's not like that anymore. And you only did it for 15 minutes. Then you stop.
Yeah, the standards for CPR alone have changed significantly.
Yeah. And now the general rule is once you start CPR, you do not stop until first responders arrive. It's you do not stop. Unless they come to, you do not stop.
Oh yeah, well, you don't want to, they're coming to going, let me stand up, and you're like, no, I can't stop.
Yeah, well, exactly. You have to use common sense, people. I know I'm not saying that people in this particular chat at this particular moment don't get it, but there are people out there.
Common sense is getting to be not so common anymore.
Yeah, well, I keep saying that with the people I work with now. They have issues with certain things, and we're not going to get into that because, well, that's just going to piss me off, and we don't want to piss off Hatfield here. That's never a good thing, having a pissed off Hatfield.
Okay, so you've worked in the dining industry. You've worked as a security. What else have you done?
I thought I was the one asking questions here. I have.
This is a turn of a show.
Yeah, well, this is fine. I have done some construction work. I have done some plumbing. Lord have mercy. I've worked in retail. I've worked as a stocker. I've done that. God, I've done a little bit of everything. CNA, like I said earlier. I've done some janitorial work, some housekeeping work. I'm just normal guy that's had a lot of different jobs in a lot of different fields. So
yeah, that's I never wanted to be, and I don't know why. I've never wanted to be in one set career my entire life. I didn't want to be doing the same thing my entire life. I don't know if it's just thirst for knowledge, because another one of my OCD things is I want to learn something new every day. So I've done all kinds of different things.
Mike Ozzy Osbourne out there was saying that he used to be a bouncer. He worked as security as a bouncer in nightclubs on the weekends. That is a very specialized field in security. And in some states you don't have to be licensed to do that. In other states you do. Um it's one of those situations where you really got to know laws, because if you don't know the laws, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. It's like in most states they have this law that's basically the only force you are allowed to use if somebody is attacking you is just enough to keep yourself from getting hurt, just enough to avoid getting hurt. In other words, if they attack you, you can fight them off, but you can't go overboard with it. Um, and it's crazy the way they do it. And being a bouncer, you have to walk that line. And then that line's even thinner when you're a bouncer, because then you could be fighting not just one person but three. Hopefully, you got somebody there backing you up, which is normally the case in situations like that. But another situation where you run into those kind of situations is live events, concerts. I've done some special events like that, concerts. I did some big events in Atlanta doing security. And when you got big crowds, that's automatically an invitation for disaster, because there's always going to be somebody in that crowd that's a little too drunk, that gets a little too wild, and you're going to have to deal with them. And you have to deal with them in a way. Yeah, exactly. You don't fight them, you control them. You de-escalate. That's the key word there, is de-escalate. But like I was saying, there's always somebody in the crowd that's a little too drunk, gets a little too wild, gets a little too out of control. And the idea is to do everything you can to stay away from a physical confrontation, because if you actually get into that physical confrontation, they can sue you. You are liable if they're hurt. Or they can sue you, the company you're working for, and you lose your license if you're a licensed guard. Unless you've got actual witnesses saying, hey, look, he was just defending himself, you're screwed. Um, and it's been I have seen several times where there was people watching, but when the time came, nobody would stand up and say, well, it wasn't the guard's fault. He was defending himself. It's like everybody had instant memory loss. I don't know what happened. I didn't see it. Liar, you standing right there looking. But you know, it's a very difficult field to get into. It's a very difficult field to make money in. Um, if you're wanting to get into it, like I said, make sure you get into one that you're an armed guard. Um, because these companies will put you in places you do not want to be, and they will put you there without a firearm, especially in some of the worst parts of some towns. I was working in a place in Chattanooga where the cops didn't even want to go in there, and yet I was a security guard working there. And 2 weeks before I started, there was a truck driver killed right across the street from where I was at in his truck. So that's, and I was unarmed. I didn't even have a nightstick. I had a radio. That was my only defense, a radio. So, um, and here's the thing: when they say you're unarmed, you're not even allowed to carry a pocket knife, because it's considered a weapon, and you will lose your job. As crap as that sounds, it's true. So, if you're planning on doing it, know what you're getting into. go ahead and get the extra training to get the armed guard license, and make sure whatever company you're going to work for, the post that they're going to put you on is an armed post, because that's the only way to make any real money there. I'm making more money right now washing dishes than I ever did as a security guard or as a CNA. That is sad. Everybody wants security. Nobody wants to pay for it. That's crazy.
Well,
that is true.
Speaking of occupations and money, one of the occupations that I got involved in was developmentally disabled care. And I started off caring for one individual that was independent living in their own home. And within 6 months, I was running 3-day programs and 6 group homes, and had 45 caregivers underneath me. Now, that particular occupation monetarily, to put it lightly, sucked donkey dick, but it was a lot more rewarding in many, many other ways.
Gun Channels is back up for anybody that's interested. I am going to put the show on over there. I'm not even sure it's worth it right now. I'm not sure the whole show would show up over there if I embedded it, but I'm going to try it and see anyway. What other jobs have you had in other fields, Alan?
Well, that's an example of another one that I've done, was developmentally disabled care. And it's one of those occupations that you can almost go anywhere and get a job, because there's people with disabilities everywhere.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I've bred, raised, and trained dogs for numerous different fields. I was a coast-to-coast truck driver for a while. I have done my share of construction as well. I've done some HR and personnel work. I worked for one company where I was the lead safety coordinator. And so that company flew me all over the country, basically evaluating warehouse operations and production operations to evaluate safety necessities. I've worked in mental health clinics. I've done, I've done all kinds of numerous different things. I've been the last acronym that I had when I was doing developmentally disabled care is they had to create a position for me, because I play the man of many hats in every job that I go to. And the acronym for my position was LSPSAM, Lead Staff Personal Service Assistant Manager. That just popped into my head. Thought I'd throw that out there. Another one of the things that I've done
that actually makes you sound important.
Well, at the time I was for that particular company, I would have to say that I was very important, just because of everything that I was doing. I actually, they took 4 different positions, merged them into one, and created a number of different facets of that position, and I was the one that did that job. And that had a lot to do with so many different aspects of it. That job kept me busy. I was pulling 80-hour weeks, no problem. I've driven garbage trucks. Um, I've worked in restaurants. Um, like I said, I've worked in psychology clinics. Um, I've worked in a pharmacy. Um, yeah, I've never stuck in one particular field. Um, I've done just tons and tons of different things. And Travis, I might have done a little bit of that. If you find the videos, let me know because I need to download those for myself. Um,
I don't even want to know. Oh, yeah, I do. Porn. Ah, yeah.
one of the one of the companies that I worked for when I was doing a little bit of the human resources aspect of my knowledge is I worked for a company that would fly me around to do mandated federal 4-hour classes. They had to be at least 4 hours long, and it was sexual harassment and cultural training classes. So I've held these courses in front of 25 upwards of over 3,000 people in a room to do these production style classes. So that was an interesting gig.
Basically telling people what they should already know.
Kind of. But because sexual harassment is another animal all in itself, and different cultural training classes, it's a constantly evolving field.
Yes, it is. For instance, when you are in the South, you hear a lot of people walk around, sweetheart, darling, using these words. It's just part of your daily speech patterns. It's like, bless your little heart, or how you doing, sweetheart, or how you doing, darling. If you go north and you do that, there's a good chance they could slap you with a sexual assault lawsuit because it's not normal. They assume that if you say sweetheart, baby, darling, whatever, you're flirting with them. And if they take offense, that's a lawsuit against you. It's that simple. And or if you do it at work, you lose your job. I've actually seen that one happen. And it's ridiculous. It's crazy. But I had a friend who's working at a restaurant, and customer came in. She was apparently from New Jersey, somewhere up in Connecticut, one of those northern states. And he was just being who he was, talking his normal everyday language. How you doing, sweetheart? That's all it took. What did you call me? Sweetheart. Where's your manager? And they fired him on the spot. What choice did they have? That is sexual harassment in the eyes of some people. So
yeah, what I used to tell people was that if it can be misconstrued, misinterpreted in any way, shape, or form, it will be.
Yeah. Yep. You've got to be very, very careful. And in the South, people from the South get it. So you normally don't hear of that kind of issues in the South unless you're from one of the more liberal cities, Atlanta, something like that. You don't hear about that crap. But the further north you go, the more and more likely it is that you're going to run across these kind of issues. And again, anytime you're with a job when you're dealing directly with the public, you've got to be careful about your terminology, what you say, and how you say it, the manner of which you speak. Attitude goes a long way into making people think one way or the other about you. And it's just It's simple little terms that you use on a daily basis might not fly in certain other situations, and it's crazy as it seems. It means nothing to you, but somebody else will fly off the handle.
Well, and as time passes, it has become worse and worse and worse. Now, you almost cannot use words like him, her,
Yeah,
she, they. Very, very simple. What most people would consider descriptive words. Um, you say, she said, "Oh well, I identify as a male goat. So you just offended me by calling me she, and so now I'm going to file a sexual harassment claim against you." Well, the way sexual harassment claims work is it's mandated. Companies mandate that it has to be investigated and action has to be taken one way or another.
whether or not you mean anything by it or not, and it's stupid. Don't you miss the good old days when people didn't get offended over every little thing that somebody said?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When I was actually doing those classes, one of the first things that I would do when I stepped out to start the class was say some of the most rudest, offensive, crudest crap that I could come up with. And because then I was showing this is the stuff that is actually supposed to be considered offensive. But other things are very subtle and people do not understand that these aren't meant as to be offensive.
Yeah, I think we need. They do sensitivity training at certain jobs, and I know you know what I'm talking about. Um, I think they need to do desensitizing training at others.
Yeah,
Uh, uh,
Mia says if somebody asked me what my preferred pronoun was, I'd be mortified. You know, and they've taken this to an extreme all over the country. Even law enforcement officers are not allowed to say sir or ma'am.
and you know how stupid that is.
They have to actually request, what do you prefer to be known as? And
Yeah,
there's even a couple of states, we'll just say California because it says California, where on their driver's license it says sex and it says other.
hmm
It's beyond my comprehension, and it's one of the reasons why I absolutely can't work in that field anymore.
yeah. Well, I'm going to say this now. As far as I'm concerned, there are two sexes, male and female, and you are either one or the other. That's just the bottom line. And if that offends anybody, well, I guess you're just offended. I ain't apologizing for it.
Okay, so I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and I'll ask you a question.
Ask me a question.
What is the difference between sex and gender?
What is the difference between sex and gender? Gender, in my opinion, now it's a trick question here. Sex, in my or gender, in my opinion, is the way you are born. You are either born male or you are born female, except in those rare cases when something happens and you do end up with both. Uh, sex, I guess sex is basically a choice that you make.
Yeah, it's this is one of those questions that you will get from these people that look at it obscurely. And they will try and twist this around to whatever your original interpretation is.
Oh yeah, of course.
Where to me, my sex usually is yes, or it used to be back in the day. These days it's non-existent. But my gender has always been male. Your sex is physical, and gender is identification. Is how General Relatively puts it. I identify as an anthropod, but physically I'm Gen X. This is part of the whole thing that I think is utterly and completely confusing. People have their own problems, but we need to have some type of set standards when it comes down to it at all. And to me, the set standards comes down to what Travis says: innie or outie. That is, the set standards is do you have an outie or an innie?
Pretty much. And here's a discussion I got into with somebody the other day. I had made the comment that there's two sexes, there's male and there's female, or two genders, male and female. And he was like, well, what if I decide to change my sex? I said, you can change your sex all you want. That's a choice. But the fact of the matter is, if you were born male and we did a DNA test, guess what it's going to come back as, no matter what you've done to your body? You can't change genetics. You're still a male. No matter what you've done, if you were born a male, you are going to die a male. Period. If you're born female, you're going to die a female. Period. So I suggest you just get used to the idea.
But, yeah, and I'm okay with people whatever they decide that they are. Just decide what you are and be you. As long as you're not violating my rights, then you do you, I'll do me.
Exactly. And quite frankly, I don't care. What you do with you is none of my business. I could care less. It don't interest me. If you want to be gay, that's your business. It don't hurt me any. Why should I care? It's the same argument that we get when it comes to firearms. You don't want a firearm, you don't like guns, that's fine. Don't tell me I can't have one. I'm not going to tell you you can't be gay. Don't tell me I can't own a gun.
Yeah, exactly. If you do you, I'll do me. As long as neither of us are violating each other's rights, then there shouldn't be a problem here. There really shouldn't be a problem here. The problem is as I see it, the community that, how do I put this? The non-homosexual community, the straight community, sees rights as they're written in the Constitution, but a lot of the gay community sees rights as whatever they feel like they want to be or claim that particular week. Am I wrong on this or what?
No, you're not. You're not, because they one thing won't offend them one week, the next week it does. But it also depends on who it's coming from, because they get very specific with it. If somebody else says something, it don't bother them. But if you say it, it's offensive. Why? What's the difference? To me, an offensive word is offensive. Period. Should be offensive.
Mike Osborne's comment. I'm a man who was trained by lesbians, and here's a little, just a small backstory on me. I was living with a girlfriend at the time, and in this house was her mom and her brother and her sister, and her uncle moved in. Well, her uncle was about as flaming as the ace of spades. Just like over the top type guy. He was a cool dude. He kept his hands to himself. I appreciated that in every way, shape, or form. But him and I got onto this decent kind of relationship, and I'd say, "Hey, John, can you go in my room and pick out my clothes for me, because Stephanie and I are going out on a date tonight?" And he would just get all excited, and he'd go pick out my clothes for me. I'm just like, hey, why not? Why not have a gay guy pick my outfit for my date with my girlfriend?
Hey, that would probably be a help to me, because I've had several people tell me that they think I dress in a closet. I have never been one. Yeah, pretty much. I have never been one to quote unquote match anything to anything else. I just put on what I find and say, forget it. Looks good enough.
Yeah, like us guys, we don't have senses of style, we really don't. I had a girl come over to my place today. I had a date at the range.
She came willingly.
Pardon?
She came willingly.
Yeah, absolutely.
You didn't drug her.
And well, yesterday she's the one that drove me around to do my my fake deliveries for April 1st.
Oh well, a budding romance, perhaps.
So, who knows? I take things as they come. But she comes walking into my place, and she's like, "This is a mixture of bachelor pad, YouTuber / Target range." And I said, "Well, yeah, you pretty much just explained it. Why? What's the problem with that?" She's like, there's like no design element here. And I'm like, I'm a dude. You think I've got style? What the hell?
Yeah, pretty much. That's it right there. Okay, we have been taking up the whole check. Gunpowder, what is your take on any of this, all of this?
I really, I don't even know what to say about most of that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little thrown off.
See, we done got deep on you. You're not used to that, are you? Especially coming from us.
Yeah, I'm really not. I mean, I was expecting like guns and, some stuff like that, but you went into dudes picking out other dudes' wardrobe and all the other stuff, and I'm just sitting here like, what did I accidentally get off the wrong chat?
Nope.
Am I still on the same chat? Man, I think I done. Is this Twilight Zone? Hold on, let me pinch myself, make sure I'm still awake.
Well, you never know. I mean, just because we are gun people doesn't mean that we don't talk about many other things. Question for you, the Gunpowder Beauty. Most females that I know, and including Mia out there, most females that I know, one of their best friends or their best friend is a gay male. Have you ever had a homosexual male as a close friend? Or
Yes, Justin Johnson. He was the most awesome dude I'd ever met in my life, and we were best friends for probably 10 years. And he was one of those, he was like the butch kind of gay guy, but he had his super flaming fabulous moments too. And so it was really awesome with him. But sadly, 5 years ago, he was killed in a motorcycle accident. A truck had made him go off the side of a road, and he hit a tree, and a piece of bone particle had gone through his bloodstream and entered his heart. And so I have not found me another gay best friend because it's kind of hard to replace him.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
But gay guys are totally fabulous. I mean, if you girls out there listening, if y'all have a gay guy best friend, hold on to them, because those dudes, my favorite thing about him was if we went to the bar and some dude was hitting on me and he could tell I was uncomfortable, he'd come over and, sound like the really macho dude and be like, "Hey, what's up? Why are you messing with my girl?" And, and we could leave. I could be shit-faced drunk, go to his house, pretty much strip down and get in his bed and be comfortable. And I never had to worry about, waking up pregnant or something. And if I ever had an outfit that he didn't think was awesome, he'd look at me and be like, "Sweetie, you're not wearing that, are you? How about you change?" I'd be like, "Change what?" He'd just sit there and wave his hand like all over and just be like, "All of it, just change all of it." And so he'd go pick up my clothes, and most of the time I ended up having, yeah, pretty much. "Bless your heart, honey. That's what you're going to wear. You're not going out in public with me looking like that." And so I pretty much just started keeping all my good stuff at his house for when we were going out on the weekends, and he'd just pick out my outfits. I'm like, "It's just easier just to keep this crap at your house because you're the only person I wear it around. So, yeah, it's staying here." Gay dudes are awesome.
See, maybe it's just me, but I don't pay much attention. I really don't pay much attention to what I'm wearing at any given point in time.
Neither does Tardot.
I find a pair of jeans, and I don't wear anything fancy. I mean, the most expensive pair of jeans I own probably cost me $22. I ain't spending tons of money on breeches or shirts.
Okay, so the funniest outfit my husband has ever tried leaving the house with me in was a pair of regular camo, like cargo shorts. And then he had a navy blue shirt and some of those tall white socks and his American flag shoes. And it just...
What? There's something wrong with that? That screams.
Yeah.
Me.
No, that screams, I am never getting laid again in my life. Or it screams, yes, I'm married. I don't even try. It's one of those outfits that I look at him and I'm like, no.
Okay. Do you know what it screams?
You're not going out there.
You know what it screams to me? Patriotism. That guy supports the military.
You sound like Tardot.
He supports the military. He supports the country. He's wearing flag shoes. Hey.
Oh, Lord.
Maybe it's just a guy thing.
It's totally a guy thing, because there's no single dude out there that would wear that and be like, "Yeah, I'm totally picking up chicks wearing this."
Okay. I'm going to give you some information that nobody probably knows about me. I don't ever wear shorts. Ever. I don't care how hot it is. I've got jeans on. Period.
Well, you're in South Carolina. You come to Texas, it's like 300 degrees June, July, August, September, and October. Okay. So
you're talking to somebody. You're talking to somebody who spent most of his life wearing long sleeve shirts in Georgia summers.
There's something wrong with you.
Heat don't bother me. The Being
Man,
fat
I'm a thick girl in Texas. It gets over 78 degrees. I'm sweating like I'm a fat girl at fat camp. I can't handle the heat. Hardot wears pants in the summer, and I'm looking at him like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, you see, the thing is, though, is dressing for the climate, dressing for what we're doing is a little bit more of what males seem to do. If a female is, and these are generalizations and stereotypes, of course, but if a female is planning on going out to the target range, she's gonna look for something that's gonna be a little flashy or whatever. She wants to get that pink camo going, and
No. I guess I'm kind of like a dude then, because I go for comfort. Like, I'm wearing some yoga pants or some of those, like, workout capris or something that's freaking got a drawstring and it's comfortable. I'm wearing a pair of flats or a pair of tennis shoes, and I'm wearing a shirt that semi looks cute with it. I go for comfort. Like, it's funny that we're having this conversation because I literally had this conversation with my mom earlier about Tulsa. And she was like, "Oh, so you know what are you taking? Oh my gosh, you're gonna look so cute, right?" And I told her I'm taking jeans, a pair of tennis shoes, a pair of flats, and a bunch of t-shirts. And my mom gave me one of those Southern mom stares of, you're not wearing that. And I was like, Wanamaker's huge. I'm not taking heels or whatever's going to be uncomfortable. I'm not wearing slacks. I'm not wearing a dress shirt. I'm going for comfort, Mama.
But you see, that's exactly the point. Yeah, that's exactly the point. Is still, I mean, yeah, you're gonna dress to be comfortable, but you also said a t-shirt that looks cute with it. Guys will grab a t-shirt that doesn't stink that bad.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, all of my t-shirts I think are cute because it's the Jelsma pistol shirt, my tactical nipple shirt, my stomp on my flag, I stomp on your ass shirt, gunpowder beauty shirt, my burst at 380 t-shirt. I mean, like, it's all t-shirts, but to me they're cute because they have something to do with guns. But my mama, yeah, she ain't too happy about what I chose to take. I thought, well,
here's the thing about that: your mom ain't the one who gotta wear it.
exactly. And she was talking about heels, and I was like, Mama, when you walk at Grapevine Mill in some heels, then we'll talk. And she was like, you've got to look cute. You're going for the media thing, aren't you? I'm like, yeah. She's like, have you ever seen a frumpy looking girl on Fox 4 News? And I'm like, they're sitting down in a chair in front of a camera. I'm going to be walking, Mama. I ain't wearing heels, slacks, and whatever. And I can almost guarantee you that the day that we go to leave, my mama hands me one of those overnight hang-up bags, and it's got like 2 or 3 outfits of something dressed up.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right here, and we expect a video if that happens.
If my mama hands that to me, I'm going to throw it out the window on the way down 75 going into Oklahoma.
That's considered littering, and it'll get you a fine.
All right, I'm going to drop it off at the Goodwill right by my house.
Well, that's probably a safer idea and better for the environment.
Yeah, I'd much rather take that ass whooping than be uncomfortable in Tulsa. That is an ass whooping I am willing to take.
Let me show you how much of a straight shot I got. I live literally 4 blocks off of Highway 75.
Oh, hold on. I got to go back to Hangouts real quick so I could see this. All right.
What are we seeing?
Well, I thought you said, look at this. So I'm trying to look.
No, I was just saying, as you talking about 75, I literally am 4 blocks off of 75 highway. I grew up in a town that's on 75 highway. I work literally 5 miles from 75 highway. I know all about US 75. Trust me.
Man, that's awesome. Because we got 75 in Texas, and it goes, all the way. And hey, you got it all the way up in Kansas.
Well, how about
Man,
this?
I should take a Highway 75 tour one day.
Damn right.
Road trip.
I got another one for you.
Okay.
When I was living in Georgia, I lived about 4.5 minutes from I-20.
Man, I like Highway 20.
And it runs right through Texas.
Yeah, but 20 is one of those really funny highways in Texas. Because if you're going North Texas, it turns, I think it stays on 20. But if you go in South Texas, when you get to 20, it sits there and turns. Well, no, that's up in Dallas. Okay, so it turns into Highway 40, which will take you to like Houston, Galveston, all that little area. Or is it 45? I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've been out there, and I wasn't sober last time I went anyway. But yeah, Highway 20 is another one of those that's kind of wonky. But it'd be a pretty good tour. I want to take I think it's Highway 69.
Now, if you want to come up Highway I-35, I'm literally 10 miles away from I-35, too.
Man, I was on I-35 last night.
I'm confused here. Are we talking about highways or interstates? Because at this point, I've driven all over the damn country, and I don't know what the hell you people are talking about.
It literally is both in Texas. It must be that way in Kansas, too. It will sit there and say Highway 35, I-35. So it's a highway and an interstate, depending on if you're going east or west.
I-35 is an interstate. 75 is a U.S. highway. And
Ellis, do you want John Z to send that single point to Night Strike or not?
What single point? Oh, that's sling. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I can't deal with a single point sling. I got to have a 2-point sling.
I think that's what he's talking about. A sling.
Work
I'm not sure.
For some things, but if there's any possibility that I need to toss that weapon, if I got to make a transition to a sidearm, I definitely don't want to have a single point on me.
Somebody send John an invite, a link, get his ass in here. I have not talked to this man in a long time, and I would, but I've got my hands sort of tied up right now, literally, with some rope.
You're having some fun, ain't you?
Well, no. What it is I've got this camping rope, and I just picked it up, and I realized it was in knots, so I'm trying to straighten it out. And
you have a robe for camping?
Rope. R-O-P-E. God. How the hell do you get rope from rope?
I wasn't talking about a road. I don't know. What are you saying?
Rope. R-O-P-E. How do you get robe?
Oh,
R-O-P-E.
now you're demonstrating your intelligence with spelling. I see.
Yeah.
Trying to make us all illiterate people look bad.
I'm from West Virginia. I should be the most illiterate person here. You know? Oh, Lord. John, I am sending you a link over on the Gun Channel side. Get your ass in here, please.
I don't know. I'm the one I think I'm the only one that didn't go to college. So if anyone's going to be uneducated, should it be the one that didn't go to college?
I didn't go to college.
Just because you've gone to college does not mean that you're educated.
I went to 1 year.
Well, yeah, my brother is, well, my god brother, he's prime example for that. That kid, I swear to God, he ain't got any common sense to save his life. Bless his heart.
I barely made it out of high school. College was just not an option for me. No.
I honestly, I quit high school. I was getting in too many fights because girls were just a pain in my ass. I was getting tired of being thrown into lockers, and I finally said, forget it.
Well, now,
I'm going to get...
Outlaw High School was the best 6 years of his life, I think.
Mine was going to be 5 because I started skipping some classes and they're going to hold me back.
I'll tell you how bad I hated high school. My 11th grade year, I seriously thought about quitting. I was like, I hate this place. I cannot stand it. It was driving me absolutely batty.
I felt like that my freshman year.
Okay, well, so did I. I hated
It didn't
school.
get any better.
From the first grade all the way up to the day I graduated, I hated school. I could not stand it. And this is a true story here too. I would refuse to do homework, period. And that's from elementary on up through high school. I just would not do any kind of homework. And
Mine wasn't I wouldn't do it. I would actually forget the shit. I was the most unorganized, forgetful person anybody had ever seen. And it wasn't until I started home-based businesses that I realized I needed post-it notes and to-do lists. Otherwise, I wasn't getting shit done.
no, I many times I had these long meetings with principals and teachers and my mother, and they would ask the same question: "Why don't you do your homework?" And my reply was always the same: because when I get home from school, I've got better crap to do than sit down and do more schoolwork at home. No, thank you. I ain't doing it.
Like go down to the creek and start fishing.
Exactly,
Man,
and that's exactly what I did.
my parents wouldn't even go for that. If I didn't have homework done or whatever in the hell I was supposed to have done, my parents wouldn't let me do shit. Even if it was Friday.
My mom was the same way. My mom was extremely strict when it came to that. The problem is I just didn't care. I was a hellion.
Man, I'm 32 and I'm still scared of my daddy.
See, when I was going through high school, my mom was raising kids, had a full-time job, and was going through college getting her doctorate. So I had this
Holy
role
crap,
model.
go mama.
I
had a role model to live up to. I had a role model to look up to and live up to.
No doubt. That's an awesome woman right there.
My mom.
One thing that's absolutely phenomenal is I have a picture, and I'll grab it here in a second if anybody even wants to see it. I have a picture of myself in my high school robe and my mother in her doctorate robe with all of her valedictorian crap color all over it, because we actually graduated on the same day.
That is cool.
That is freaking awesome right there.
I'll have to grab that picture. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I mean, not very many people can say they have this picture.
That is some cool stuff right there. Oh, when it came to graduation, I told Mom 2 months before graduation even came around, I wasn't going. I said I didn't go to prom. I ain't going to graduation. And she flat looked me right in the eyes and say, "You are either going or I'm going to shoot you." And I think she meant it. You know,
she probably did. If she had the look, you might as well consider that gun locked and loaded. It's going to be pointed at you.
She said, that was her exact word. Either you're going or I'm going to shoot you. And I told her, I don't want to go. There's no reason for me to go. She says, I put you through all these years of school. I'm going to watch you graduate. Oh, and she went all out. She went, look at that picture.
That is awesome right there.
So taken in 19, myself with some long ass hair, and my mother with all of her valedictorian, when she graduated with her doctorate. So not very many people can say that they have a picture of graduating on the same day. But
that is pretty cool.
So who went to the dinkiest high school?
Probably you.
How many people did you have in your graduating class?
A few thousand.
Seriously?
Like close to 3,000 was mine and Tardot's.
Good Lord. 45 in mine.
Yep. Actually, I'm probably exaggerating that number. It's probably
Holy
Yeah,
crap,
it was
were
a
y'all
lot.
even considered like a 1A school?
It's 2A.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, graduation. Mom went all out with it. She went and bought me a suit and a tie, dress shoes. She expected me to wear a suit and a tie. Now, let me tell you something about the outlaw here. He don't do suits. He ain't never done suits. He don't do ties. I've been married twice, and neither time did I wear a suit to do it. So the night of graduation come, and I was bound and determined to find a way to get out of it, and there just wasn't no doing it. So I found me a pair of jeans. I found my old beat up cowboy boots. I found an old t-shirt, and that's what I wore to graduation. Now the only reason I got away with that was because I wasn't living with mom when I graduated. I was pretty much out on my own. And I had a ride to the graduation, so I rode with them and made sure I stayed clear of mother until the ceremony actually was over. And did the whole ceremony. Finally, mom found me and gave me this look. You're not wearing the suit. And I looked at her. I told you I wasn't going to wear the suit. You knew I wasn't going to wear the suit. She said, do you know how much money I spent on that suit? And I was like, oh, dear God, here it comes. And she just looked at me and laughed. And that was it. I mean, I was thinking, oh, dear God, she's going to blast me right here in front of all these people. And she just laughed.
Look at the lapels.
There's my senior
God.
picture, man.
See, I didn't do that either. I did not do pictures in school. No.
1978.
Oh, you were in style.
Oh my goodness.
That was like pimping style right there.
I had hair and Elvis sideburns. Look at that shit, will you?
I bet you had all the girls after you, didn't you?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, let me show you my guns, darling.
Yeah, 3/4 of the way through my senior year in high school, I had a major car accident that should have killed me, but it didn't. And so when I went to go walk for high school graduation, I was still actually on crutches, had a cast on my leg still, and so I was able to get away with claiming that because I had this cast, I needed to wear a tennis shoe on the other side for extra traction, this, that, and the other thing. So it looked like I was just wearing a tennis shoe with a sock on the other foot. In all actuality, I defied everybody, and I wore the suit, shirt, and tie, and no pants under my robe.
No. That's I cannot force myself to get into a suit. That is just one thing that I cannot do. If I was to get married again and she asked me to wear a suit, I'd have to love her because that'd be the only way I'd do it.
Tardot and I got married in a camo shirt, some blue jeans, and some cowboy boots because I did not want to go spend that much money on a dress I'm going to wear for one freaking day. And I didn't want him to have to rent a tux for a suit that he's going to have to take back after wearing it for that one freaking day. We got married in my kitchen, and my cousin is an ordained minister, so that saved us a whole lot of money. And we went out to eat with family that was going to be there, and it was pretty much our parents my cousin, her husband, and uh, his oldest son, who's going to be 9 this month. So, yeah, it was really budget friendly.
Well, that budget friendly versus, just being a Texas girl. That's one thing. My
Yeah,
second wife
that,
wanted
but I didn't want to sit there and start a marriage off in debt because it just seemed a little ridiculous.
my second wife, or was it my fourth? One of them, they wanted to get married in a pantsuit. And I'm like, you're kidding me, right? They're like, no, no, no. I said, if you actually show up in a pantsuit, I am walking away from the altar. I will not marry you if you come up to that altar wearing pants. Not happening. Because
Well,
I like the girls to be girly. What can I say? I like my girls girly.
can't blame you for that. I don't mind them wearing jeans or something like that, t-shirts. That don't bother me. But I like to see them in a dress now and again.
When it yeah, when it comes to formal wear or semi-formal wear, that's that to me, it I want to see girly. Everyday wear, no problem. I've got no problem with my girl wearing jeans, especially if she looks good in jeans, and cowboy boots or tennis shoes. I got no problem with that at all. But if I'm going to put on a suit, then they're going to put on pants. No, I got a little bit of an issue with that.
Well, like I said, I ain't got. I would never ask a girl to dress up. Never. And the reason why is simple. I don't do it. I don't wear slacks. I don't wear dress shirts. I wear nice shirts. I've got some very nice Western shirts that I'll wear from time to time when I'm going somewhere nice, and a couple good pair of jeans that I'll put on. But other than that, that's as dressed up as I get. Hell, I got a bolo tie that I'll wear once in a while around here somewhere. I don't know where it's at the moment, but I got one. And that's the closest thing to a tie that I will ever wear. Um, but I have a question for Gunpowder before we go any further here. You said you had boots. You got married in boots. What kind of boots? You said cowboy boots. Well, I got to ask you a question because there's
Yeah,
cowboy boots and
they're.
then there's cowboy boots.
I think they were my Justins. I honestly couldn't tell you the brand. Tardot bottom.
Well, you know what? If they were Justin's, and I can give that a pass. Them are cowboy boots.
Yeah.
I will, as long as they're not something like a dingo. And then
No,
then
no,
I start going.
those look weird. Um, but I'm gonna jump out real quick and pick up this person, and I'm gonna jump back in a minute.
Okay. That just sounds weird.
I don't
But
know. I guess she decided it was time to go to work and start doing some driving, maybe.
yeah, without even letting us know, that's just I'm gonna stop and pick this person up. Well,
We'd
if one of us was to say that, hey, we're gonna stop and pick this person up, people will be thinking, yeah, I hope you have that $50 bill handy. But no, because she's who she is, she gets away with it. You see a double standard there by chance? Hey,
I
John
certainly
Z.
hope so.
Oh well, John Z. I did send you a link to the other side. You realize that, right? It's over on Gun Channels. It's just waiting on you there. So anytime you decide to click on that link, you can get in here. Unless it's too late past your New York bedtime. There might be
Well,
a
yeah,
law that
John
says,
Z. Yeah, Philo says, let's hope she's driving. Yeah, let's hope she's driving. I hope she ain't picking somebody up to body slam them.
oh well, wait a minute, John the biker Bob. Link. Bob wants a link. Well, Bob, if you want it, by God, brother, there it is. You can have it. How could I not give Bob a link? Bigfoot lover that he is. I did too, John. Hold on, I'll do it again. Unless it just didn't show up. Let me
I
see,
sent one
John.
in his email too.
Yeah. And there's you another one.
I mean,
just-
dang links do you need? Shoot.
Yeah, good Lord, John. How many links does somebody need to get into a chat?
Well, I don't know. Those links might not be approved for view in his state, but
I don't know. Well, I just refreshed my page over there. So I'm
how
gonna
about
try
this?
it
I'll
all
just
again.
throw it in the side chat here.
Well, you can do that too, Just
I don't know if it'll work or not, but I'll throw it over there.
John, we are
And
looking.
they're going on and on about how dong lies are the worst. The fact of the matter is every man out there has told a dong lie.
Yeah,
One point in their life or another.
It's true. It's true. And then when you tell them the truth, they don't believe that either. Go figure.
No, why should they? You just told them a dong lie.
well, what was it Ghost said earlier? He's like a bodyguard, 2 inches, inch and a quarter, something like that. So
it's more like a birthday cake. 2 inches, 2 inches tall and 8 inches round.
Yeah.
Well, you said you were a 2-finger pecker earlier, so
yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the God's honest truth. I pulled my britches down. The girlfriend looked at me and she says, "What the hell are you planning on doing with that?" So it's just one of those things, Some guys have good genetics. Some guys, God just said, "Not you, son, not you."
it's like this joke about this couple got married, and they were getting undressed for their wedding night, and the groom took his shoes off, and she looked at his feet, and his toes were all twisted up. She said, "What happened to your toes?" And he said, "I had polio when I was a kid." And then he took off he slipped off his pants, and she looked at his knees and what's wrong with your knees? And he said, "I had measles when I was a kid." So he went ahead and took off his underwear, and she said, "I see you had smallpox too."
Oh fuck! Oh fuck, Gary, that was good. Where'd you hear that?
I don't know. It was a long time ago. Long time.
I'm gonna have to remember that one. Troy, if you're gonna come up with R-rated jokes around here, you're gonna have to come up with some really good ones to keep up with this crowd, brother.
That's one of the cleaner ones I can tell.
Yeah. See, Gary was an English sailor in a past life. He's got some good ones.
That was nice. I mean, it's rare that I hear ones that good that I haven't heard before. That was tasty. I like that one.
That was good, wasn't it? That's the first time I'd ever heard that one. I mean, we were in a chat. I guess it's been 3-4 months ago now. It was me, Clover, Ghost, several others was in there, and it was off air, I think, and we were talking about some of the jokes that we knew like that from when we were kids, and I have forgotten. I mean, I used to know tons of those things, and I have forgotten most of them as I've got older, because I guess you don't use them or you don't tell them as often as you used to, or just too much has happened in your life to actually remember stuff that's really not that important. But I used to know a ton of those, and now I can pick up one or two now and again that just happen to pop back into my mind. But it's weird.
I got a story for you here. Many years ago, there was this village. Okay,
there's a village,
and
What was the name of the village?
The village was down in a valley, and up on the hill there was a monastery with a bunch of monks, okay? These weren't your ordinary monks. And every year these monks would come down the mountain, down to the village, and they would beat up all these people in the village. They'd take all their stuff and take back up the mountain with them. And this happened year after year after year. Finally, the people in the village, they were getting a little bit tired of it, so they were trying to find somebody who could help them. And they come upon this mystic by the name of Mr. Yu. And they said, you got to help us, you got to help us, save us from these monks. And he said, I got it taken care of. Just tell me when they're coming. I'll take care of this. And so one day in the village, they saw these monks coming down the side of the hill, so they went and got Mr. Yu, and he come up there, and he did his kung fu and stuff, hands flying, legs flying, and monks just flying all over the place. And when he was done, all the monks were defeated, and he was the hero of the village. And I totally screwed this up. Okay. Let me start over on this, Trope. Okay. To make this make a little bit more sense, what the monks were stealing was the flowers that the people in these villages were selling, okay? The monks would come down every year and steal the flowers. And so anyway, Mr. Yu saved the village from these monks. And you know what the moral of this story is?
What's that?
Only you can prevent florist friars.
Hey, Outlaw, have you ever heard of the
Minutes of your life you'll never get back again.
Yeah. Only you can prevent forest fires. Okay.
Ellis, did I ever tell you about the two monks taking a shower?
No, I don't think you have, Alan. No, I don't think we've hit on that one yet.
Well, there's these two monks getting ready to take a shower, and they head into the shower room and undress, and they get in the shower. One of the monks says, "Oh, there's no soap in here." The other one says, "Don't worry about it. I'll run to the supply closet and get us some." And he goes running down the hallway there, butt naked and wet, grab a couple of bars of soap from the supply closet, and comes running back. And around the corner come these three nuns. This monk's like, "What am I going to do? What am I going to do?" And he just stops and freezes and poses like this statue. And these three nuns come walking up, and they're all kind of looking at each other and looking at him as they walk up. And one of the nuns says, "Wow, this must be new. I haven't seen this before." And the other nun goes, "Yeah, I haven't seen this before either." And she reaches out and grabs his pud and yanks on it. And the monk is shocked. He drops one of the bars of soap, and all the nuns start laughing. The other nun reaches over and says, "Yeah, that's kind of funny. Look, it's a soap dispenser." She grabs his pud and yanks on it, and he's surprised. He drops the other bar of soap, right? And they're laughing, going, "Wow, it's a soap dispenser." Third nun reaches out, grabs his pud and yanks on it, goes, "Look, it's also a hand lotion dispenser."
Oh, Lord have mercy. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a preview of what you're going to get when it's me, Alan, the Scotsman, and Joey. This is going to be the whole night. Be ready.
There is another couple that's on their wedding night, okay? Now, the man is nervous as can be because he's never had sex before, okay? So he tells his buddy before his wedding night, he says, "I don't know what I'm going to do." He said, "I've never done this before." And his buddy says, "I'll tell you what." He says, "You tell me what room you're going to be. I'll be in the room next to you. And if you have any problems, just holler." He said, and I'll tell you what to do. Guy says, okay. So the couple gets married. They get in their room, and he's kind of nervous, figuring what to do. And his bride says, "Well, I'm gonna go change into something more comfortable." Okay. So he said he started, getting undressed and stuff like that, and he started getting nervous and everything, kind of pacing around the room. Then he has to go to the bathroom really bad. Okay. And of course, she's taking her sweet time in the bathroom, and he doesn't want to embarrass himself or anything like that. So he's looking for something to poop in. Okay. And so, anyway, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to tell this joke. No. Not going to tell this joke. It's too disgusting. Forget it. Not going to go there. It wasn't worth it anyway. Trust me.
All right. Well, if you ain't gonna cross the line, I'll draw the line. Okay. Here we are. Okay. So there's 3 priests and 3 young boys in a boat, and the boat's sinking.
Oh boy.
The boat's sinking. We must save the boys. The second priest says, "Fuck the boys." The third priest says, "Do you think we have time?"
And there goes. I'm glad I don't monetize any of this stuff. Lord.
You can't tell gay jokes anymore.
Well, no, you certainly cannot, because you're going to offend somebody. God forbid anybody gets offended in this country,
No. I mean, that's a big problem that I have. Another reason why I can't work in HR departments any longer. People don't, in any way, shape, or form. You cannot say anything that's a joke at all. They can't. People don't take jokes for what they are. They're jokes. If you made a joke about me, chances are, is if it's a good joke, I'm gonna laugh because I know it's a joke. You don't take jokes seriously. Come on.
I don't know, man.
These 2 guys are walking down the street, and there's a dog laying down the sidewalk licking himself. One of them said, "God, I wish I could do that." And the other one said, "Better pet him first."
That's an old one, Gary. That one I've heard. But the way I heard it, the one guy looks at the other guy and says, "I wish I could do that." And the guy says, "Well, you could, but he might bite you." Yep.
You know why a dog licks his crotch?
Why, Gary?
Because he can.
Yeah. If a human man could do that, we'd never need a woman, would we?
Oh, blonde jokes. Oh, blonde jokes.
Oh, I know all kinds of
hang
blonde
on. I got to stop it right there. Blonde jokes are like the bottom of the barrel jokes. Blonde jokes are the jokes that you tell when you got nothing left. But with that said, my first wife, or was it my third? She was blonde, and she knew every single blonde joke under the sun.
You know how a blonde turns the light on after sex?
She opens the car door.
She opens the car door. That's right.
Yep.
2 blondes walk into a bar. You would think at least one of them saw it.
Yeah, that's a good one. How do you drown a blonde?
Put a scratch and sniff at the bottom of the pool.
How else do you drown a blonde?
Put a mirror at the bottom of the pool.
Exactly.
Why did the blonde stare at the container of frozen orange juice?
Oh,
Why?
God, I used to know this one.
Because it said concentrate.
Why do blondes wear panties? To keep
Why?
their ankles warm.
What did the blonde say when she opened the box of Cheerios? Hey, look, donut seeds.
Oh Lord.
I used to work at this gas station, and this blonde comes walking in the store one night and says, "I just locked my keys in my car. Do you have a coat hanger?" And I'm like, "Actually, I do, right here under the counter." And I gave it to her, and I helped up finishing up with the customers I had there in the store, and I went outside to see how she was faring unlocking her car. And she's got the coat hanger all bent up and jabbing it inside the door, back and forth, up and down, all over the place. And there's another blonde in the passenger seat going a little to the left, little to the left.
You know, that reminds me of a picture I saw the other day. There was two guys standing beside a car trying to use a Slim Jim to open the car door, with the back door of the same car being wide open. And I'm sitting here and I'm looking at that thinking, what kind of idiot does it take to get themselves in that kind of a stupid situation that you do not realize all you have to do is reach your hand through the back door to unlock the front? People are stupid. I'm telling you, some people are absolutely stupid, buddy. It's like the guy that I've seen. I watched this. I watched this happen. He gets out of his car. This was in New York. This is how you know New York people aren't quite all there. He gets out of his convertible, right? He leaves the tops down and he clicks the button to set the alarm and lock the doors.
Wow.
And I look at him. I said, "You realize you left the top down, right?" And he said, "Yeah, but I locked the doors." And I just left it alone. I couldn't. When you're dealing with somebody that has that amount of stupid, you're best just to give it up right there.
Some people are about as sharp as beach balls.
When you're dealing with that amount of stupid, it's just time to back off. Oh Lord.
Either that or they're on way too many drugs. Way too many drugs.
It's
I
okay.
stopped
locked the
over
door.
at this guy's house, and he's out in his driveway during the middle of the day, like looking down at the ground, looking all over the place. And I was like, "What are you looking for?" He's like, "Oh, I'm looking for something. I can't seem to find it. I'm looking for a key I dropped." Well, this is during the middle of the day, mind you. He's got a flashlight in his hand. And he's like looking down all over the ground. You can't even see the light from the flashlight on the ground. I'm like, "Is that flashlight going to help?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, you can see a lot better." I was like, "Oh, all right. Well, good luck finding that key." I just walked away. Like, man, you're on entirely too many drugs.
You know, you say that as a joke, but I honestly think that there are people in this country right now who are so over medicated, and I mean purposely over medicated by doctors, and that they just don't realize how far gone they actually are. You know, it's like a friend of mine. Her name was Jeanette, and this was many years ago, and she was on, I guess, 8 or 9 different types of medication, nerve pills, anti-anxiety pills, just all kind antidepressants and all these other pills. Well, her and her husband Ronnie got into some hard times, and they couldn't afford to go get her medicine 1 month, and she ran out of it. And she went about a week and a half without her medication.
Oh, that's rough.
Oh yeah, she went about a week and a half without it. And the first 5 or 6 days, she was miserable. All that stuff coming out of her system. Then she said, "I'm starting to feel better now." And she started doing things that I hadn't seen her do in years. We'd played darts in the basement, and she actually came down and played darts. She never came down and played darts. We played spades, she'd play spades. Now, I feel better now than I felt in a very long time. And I asked her, I said, well, what's different now than, 3 weeks ago? She says, I don't know. And I looked at her and says, you're off all them damn pills. You ain't been taking them and you're feeling better. What does that tell you, Jeanette? And she just could not put those two pieces of the puzzle together for some reason. For some reason in her mind, she absolutely had to have those pills to feel better. But by looking at her, by watching her, by seeing how she was acting, she felt better. She was happier. She wasn't looped out of her mind like she was 90% of the other time. And I told her, I said, Jeanette, you don't need all that medication they're giving you. I mean, why do you take it if you're feeling better without it? That makes no sense to me. Well, the doctor said I have to have it. Yeah, well, doctors aren't known to, be gods. They make mistakes, and apparently they've screwed up pretty badly with you because you seem to be doing okay.
I'm a firm believer, and it's just my personal opinion, but I'm a firm believer that a lot of doctors, the only things that they actually do is listen to a symptom and throw a drug at you. Listen to a symptom and throw a drug at you. And because they're very liable for a lot of different things. But basically, I don't know the last time I walked into a doctor's office and had them go, oh, well, you don't need any medication. What you need is this. They always throw some type of med at you. To me, it's, I've got a major thing against that now personally.
Yeah,
At one point in my life, Outlaw, that story relates very well to me. Because at one point in my life, I was on 9 different pharmaceuticals.
Damn.
Today, I take 0.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. I am 45 years old. And most people, when they hit 40, 45, you can pretty much guarantee that they're taking something for something. It's just, modern age. Everybody's taking a pill for something. The only medications I take right now at this particular point in time is I've got a small pack of goodie powders in my wallet. That's it. That's the only medication I take. And the only time I take that's when I've got a headache so bad I literally cannot stand it. If I was to take a muscle relaxer or a nerve pill or one of those prescription pain pills, I would be knocked on my ass for hours. I have no tolerance for it at all because I've never taken the crap. I am one that has always said I would rather deal with the pain than be so screwed up upstairs that I don't know whether or not I'm coming or going, or be so loopy that all I want to do is sleep. This is also why I don't drink a whole lot. I had 2 beers tonight during match chat, and that's about the limit for me, and I only do that once in a blue moon because I like being aware of what's going on around me. Even when I'm at my house, I want to, if I need to do something, I want to know that I have the mental capability of getting it done.
Yeah, I walk around on a daily basis with a small container of Aleve in my pocket. So I do have something on me at any given time. As I've gotten older, I got more more supposed aches and pains. Now, have I been on some major hardcore pain medications before for ailments that I do have? Abso-freaking-lutely. I was on painkillers for years. But I will not, I don't take that crap no more. I just won't. The the fact is I've been able to actually alleviate a large amount of that by doing a bunch of stretching and keeping my weight down and doing a little bit more exercising than I did when I was younger.
And that's the thing. You can find natural ways of dealing with a lot of what's wrong with you yourself. You don't have to go to a doctor and get a pill. There's just it's just having the willpower to actually go through with it. You know, yeah, you might have to deal with a little pain here and there, but it's better than being, sitting in a state of, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for here, uh, unaware all the time, not knowing what's going on around you, living your life in a daze because you're taking 15 pills and you don't know what half of them does. And here's what worries me. Okay, you take this pill and it has this set of side effects. You take that pill and it has this set of side effects. And you take this pill over here and it has a whole different set of side effects. And then you've got this other pill that has side effects that go right along with the first three. Takes a couple of each of the other ones. So, what are you doing to your system taking all that? The side
Well,
effects is
I was
probably
literally
worse.
taking medications. I was literally taking medications to counteract the side effects of other medications.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's just, it's ludicrous. You know, people need to get to the point in their lives where they can say, okay, man, yes, these pills might help take away the pain, but what is it doing to you mentally? What is it doing to your body? You know, what
Well,
if,
and I don't think either any of us are saying that there's some medications that just aren't logical. There's some medications that aren't needed. I don't think any of us are saying that.
no, that's not what I'm saying.
That be
Well,
said, uh,
yeah,
now, I used to be on high blood pressure medication, okay? And anybody that knows the majority of high blood pressure medications, once you start on that medication, you're going to be on some type of high blood pressure medication the rest of your life. And I was on high blood pressure medications. Well, I was able to knock my weight down and get a little bit more exercise and pay a little bit closer attention to my diet. And now I do not have the necessity for high blood pressure medication. And I took myself off of it completely against the recommendations of my doctor, but I monitor my blood pressure. Um, and I'm still in what would be considered for my body size and height and all that happy horse crap in normal levels. So why would I still be on medication when my blood pressure is in the normal range?
exactly. That's exactly right. And like he said, I'm not saying you should just quit taking whatever medications you're on. That's nuts. Because most of this stuff you can't just jump off of. You have to lower yourself off of it. Because if you quit cold turkey, you're gonna be in for some rough ride. I know, I've seen it. You know.
You're either going to be in for a rough ride or you're going to be in for your last ride.
Um like I said, I've seen it with Jeanette and I've seen it with other people. I've seen people try to come off pain medications just cold turkey and they suffer for it. You can't do it. You got to lower yourself down to a point where you can just step off. And once you step off, you need to stay off if you can. But like diabetes medicine, that's something you got to have. That's insulin. That's something you got to have. I understand that. I'm not. I'm in no way saying that anybody that's on that stuff needs to quit taking it. I would never do that. That's nonsense. And I'm not one for quoting scripture, but the Bible says use judgment in all things. It ain't too wise, or use wisdom in all things. It ain't too wise just to jump off a medication that you absolutely have to have. What?
Yeah, there's some medications out there that you really need to step it down. If you're going to be coming off of it, your doctors will even give you counteractive medicines in order to start lowering these kinds of things out of your system. There's That's a big factor. I've gone off of some pretty hardcore medications the wrong way. And not only was it really rough, but in all actuality, it could have been the last rough. It could have been the last ride. So yeah, definitely, you're not wanting to. Nobody should do it that way. Speaking from somebody that has done it, nobody should do it that way.
No, no, no. It's dangerous in more ways than one too. I mean, you always have to take into account the mental aspects of getting off of this stuff too, because you probably don't realize the mental changes that goes on when you're taking this medicine. And there's always some kind of mental side effect to any of these kind of medications. You probably don't see it because you're the one taking it, but the people outside are, you're not doing things quite like you used to do. You're not being as active as you used to be. You're not, getting out like you used to get out. And all of a sudden, you don't have that influx of medication in your system, and your mind's basically either crashing or waking up.
Yeah,
And
there's tons of. I mean, we'll continue on the pain medication line conversation. Here's the thing that was odd for me, Outlaw, is I've been on everything from Percocet, Vicodin, oxycodone, oxycontin, um, and throughout my particular experience with all that, um, I would never, ever, ever say that I was addicted to any of it because I never wanted to be on the crap to begin with. Um, but with that said, I could tell that I hadn't taken my that I forgot to take my medication that day if I get a couple hours into my workday, because all of a sudden I'm ready to hit a bed. I'm ready to fall down and crash. If I took my medications, I felt normal. But it actually took quite a while for my body to adjust and start feeling normal without the medications.
and
For
that's
most people taking those meds, it passes them out. It knocks them out and they turn into zombies, everything else. When I was on those medications, especially when on a regular basis, if I didn't take them, that's when it turned me into a zombie.
and it's scary. It's scary. And now, I have to put out a disclaimer here, guys. I have never ever been on any kind of serious prescription medication. Um, in my life, I've never, actually, that's a lie. That is a lie. Let me backtrack a bit. Back in, I think it was 2006, 2005, one or the other. I slipped a disc in my back before work one night, and I nosedived to the ground and I laid on the floor for 25 minutes before I could force myself to finally get up. It hurt that bad. And I can take some pain. I really can. And I was suffering. I went to work that night, and make a long story short, I went to work the next night as well as often the day after that, went to the hospital, and they had told me what was happening. They was absolutely amazed that I forced myself to go to work the next 2 days. But, I did. And they prescribed me some kind of muscle relaxer, some kind of pain pill, and told me to stay home from work for the next 3 or 4 days. Well, I was in a lot of pain, so I took one of the muscle relaxers, one of the pain pills. By the time I got home, I was so sleepy, I couldn't hold my eyes open. I hit the bed. I slept for, I guess, somewhere between 12 and 14 hours. And I woke up feeling worse than I did before I took that medicine. And now I'm not talking about worse as in hurting. The pain had subsided, but it felt like every part of my body was just in a different place. I felt nauseated. I felt like I had been ran over by a truck. Loopy, sleepy, and how somebody could be sleepy after sleeping 14 hours is beyond me, but I was. And I told my wife then, I said, you know what? I ain't taking that anymore. I can't do it. If it's going to make me feel like this every time I wake up, then no. So that day, I did not take the muscle relaxer. I did take a pain pill. And again, it didn't take long and I was out again. But I didn't sleep nearly as long. And the next day, I didn't even take the pain pill again. I told Kathy to go to the store and pick me up some over-the-counter stuff. I took that instead. So, and I just suffer through it. But that's my only experience with narcotics right there. That's it.
Guys,
So,
I'm gonna have to go ahead and jump out. Speaking of being tired, I need to get to bed.
Okay, buddy. Well, daggone, boys, we've been going for almost 3 hours now. So,
Well, thanks for the invite, Outlaw.
hey, buddy, you're more than welcome. Gary, you know I love having you on here.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Alan, Gunpowder, you guys take care.
And
Much
remember,
love, Gizzard. Get some good rest.
remember, Gary, you and I got an interview coming up.
I know it. I gotta prep for it, man. You might.
Hope
Brett?
you have a good night.
All right, y'all stay safe. I'll talk to you
Yep.
tomorrow.
Okay, buddy.
Good night.
Good night. You know,
Yeah,
Gary,
I used to be on a muscle relaxer that now this caveat to all this, medications react differently with every individual. But there's some things that the majority of people react a certain way, and some other people react a completely different way. And the muscle relaxer that my doctor had me on at the time had a tendency for almost everybody to want to knock them out, make them feel groggy, make them feel sleepy. Me, on the other hand, completely different. Didn't make me tired in any way, shape, or form. Didn't make me feel groggy. Didn't make my thought pattern feel cloudy or anything of that sort. And my doctor was kind of amazed by this. And she's like, well, start asking around your family to see if anybody else has taken this medication, if they've had this same reaction. Everybody that I talked to in my bloodline said, no, yeah, I've taken that medication and it knocks me on my hide. But me, on the other hand, not an issue. Didn't make me cloudy, didn't make me tired, none of it.
well, see, that's the thing. All of it affects different people different ways. And it also has a lot to do with, your tolerance for that sort of stuff. I just ain't got a tolerance for it at all. Period. Um, I could take Nyquil, and it zones me completely out. I'm gone. Uh, so, but like I said, I'm not one for taking any kind of medication.
So you're saying that you're a cheap date?
Yeah, pretty much. But Nyquil or any of those over the counter uh, sleep things, man, I take that and I'm just gone. I mean, I'm out to the world. I have absolutely, like I said, absolutely no tolerance for that sort of thing.
Now,
It's
I question some of these over the counter energy drink things, and um, there's some out there that are just kind of mild energy drinks. There's some that seem like they're supposed to be energy drinks, but they really aren't. Um, but I mean, back in the day, with my second or my third wife, I don't know. We used to mix vodka and monsters all the time. And that's now discovered to be, completely unhealthy. Oh, gee, really? But even just like the energy drinks, I I really kind of question nowadays some of those things.
well, I've never been one to fall into that. What is it, Red Bull or Monster? And no, I can't. To me, it's disgusting. I'm quite happy just with a cup of coffee every morning, and I'm good with that. That's all I need. And I'm one of these people that can get 4 hours of sleep and be up for 14 hours.
Man, I'm drinking a monster right now.
Well, there you go. I just, I had a guy that I used to work with, and he would constantly drink Red Bulls. I think it was Red Bulls. And he got sent home from work one day because his chest was bothering him. And they finally took him to the hospital, and they said that he had so much caffeine in his system that his heart was just pounding like crazy out of his chest. They said so. That right there. Just why does anybody need that much caffeine? That just blows me away. Um, Now I used to drink 36 ounces of very strong coffee every morning, and when I say strong, I mean 5 or 6 cup or teaspoons of instant coffee. So that's a lot of caffeine. Now I'm down to, and I've cut down on that too. I've cut down to about 24 ounces and half a teaspoon of coffee. That's all I use. And I drink instant coffee. So, and the goal is to get completely off the caffeine. I don't drink sodas. Um, as far as I know, the only thing that I do drink with caffeine in it is the coffee. Every once in a while, maybe some tea. But
Yeah, very, very rarely do I drink sodas anymore. I very extremely rarely will now drink like monsters. The actual like energy shots, like the 5 hour, 6 hour energy shots. I've only tried those a couple of times. I've only drank a couple of them, and it's usually when I have to work past the 30 hour. Um, if I've actually pulled a quadruple shift, then I'm looking for a little something to keep me going. And I yeah, I'd get the heart pounding chest thing and almost get a touch of vertigo with it. But
see,
that
that
just
would be,
might be sleep deprivation. So
yeah, that could be. And I tell you what, you go long enough without getting any sleep, you start seeing shit. I know I've been there, done that. I went 3.5 days without sleeping once, literally. And when I say not sleeping, I mean I was literally awake for 3.5 days. And there's a story behind that, and the story is this: my first wife had died, and from the moment I found out she had died until after her funeral, I was awake. I did not sleep, not a minute. I can recall every single detail, but I will tell you this: your mind will play tricks on you like you will not believe. You will hear things that you didn't really hear, and you will see things that ain't there. Your mind goes sort of crazy when you go that long without sleep. Needless to say, when I finally did crash, I crashed hard. But that's a different story for a different time. Um, and with that, we are down to 6 viewers, guys. We're going to call this one quits. I think we've ran it into the ground tonight. What y'all think?
Sounds like a game plan to me.
Yep.
I hope you guys have a good night. I'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah. You got anything you want to plug, guys? Either one of you?
Yes, sir. No, I'm good. I don't really have anything going on since Tulsa's a few days away.
Okay. Well, I expect to see videos from you.
Most definitely, sir.
Yep. Alan, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, well, don't really have anything majorly to plug. If you want to see me make a complete fool of myself, you can check out the real Alan B Pro channel. Got pretty much nothing on the table at the moment. Just trying to hold on to every penny I can to pick up some new toys. But other than that, keep the magazines loaded and one in the chamber.
Always got one in the chamber, brother. Always, except for the shotgun. It stays cruiser ready. And for those of you who don't know, cruiser ready is simply having your tube loaded completely up without one in the chamber in a shotgun. And there's a reason for that, because there's no such thing as a drop safe pump shotgun. They don't make one. If it hits the ground, chances are it will go off, even with the safety on. That's just a public service announcement from the outlaw to everybody that's still listening out there. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all of y'all that's still hanging around, all 6 of you. God bless your little hearts. Not to steal Gunpowder's line, but desperate for entertainment, apparently.
Them stealing words right there, sir.
You're
Yes,
gonna have to pay some royalty rights there.
Copyright.
yeah. Well, you could bill my manager, Alan B. Pro. He'll take care of everything.
Whatever the last time I billed that dude, he sent me a bounce check.
I didn't say
And then
there's
he
going to
sent
be.
me on a post-it note that says, "My bad, I owe you."
Well, it's still better than what the last guy got. He got $5 in Monopoly money. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are calling it quits for the night. I do thank everybody for listening. Thank you guys for hanging around. Who is still out there? General Relativity. Mia's still out there. Who else is still out there? Alan, what are you still doing out there? You're supposed to be in here. Tony Cornett, how are you, buddy? Glad to see you. Glad you stayed with us tonight. Philo, thank you. Guys, you must be desperate for entertainment, and I love you for it. Espada, I was going to send you a link, but I thought we lost you. You have a good night, brother. We're calling this one quits. That's it, guys. It's been a great chat. Thanks for stopping by. God bless.